Now, after several days of tense court hearings, Rajasthan, the battle between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, has come to an end in court. But the tension is not over. The verdict will be delivered on Friday as to what exactly the court believes. Does it believe that the Speaker of the Rajasthan Assembly was correct in issuing disqualification notices to Sachin Pilot and his rebels because they didn't attend a Congress Legislative Party meeting which had been called by Chief Minister Gehlot? Or was that disqualification notice too strong and was not merited, as the rebels and Sachin Pilot have argued with their team of high-powered lawyers? Now, why this verdict is so crucial is because Mr. Gehlot is on a razor's edge when it comes to the numbers in the Rajasthan Assembly. And it's crucial that he has to win in order to be able to survive the floor test. And this is what the numbers game. Let's go full frame on that on screen. Let's go full frame on that on screen, and let me explain the numbers to you. That Mr. Gehlot is at 102. That's just one over the majority mark. The Pilot and the BJP camp is at 97. That is just a difference of 5. That's the problem. That with just such a small gap, they are poised neck and neck with each other. Neck and neck with each other. That's the problem. And so that's why it's so crucial for Mr. Gehlot to win. Now, yes, so if the rebels lose in court and the Speaker disqualify them, only then is the Gehlot government safe. So if you can just go to that graphic. If the rebels lose in court and the Speaker disqualifies them, only then is the Gehlot government safe. Why is that? Because the majority mark of the Rajasthan Assembly drops from 101 to 92, and Mr. Gehlot with 102 MLAs is likely to win the trust vote. That's in the event that the rebels lose in court. But if the rebels win in court, the disqualification is stayed, then the threat level rises for the Gehlot government. The rebels can vote against the government, and given the narrow margins, even a few defections can topple the government. So it's crucial for Mr. Gehlot to win the legal battle in order to reduce the level of threat. Now, he claims either way he has 102 MLAs. That's just over the halfway mark. So either way, he's in a comfortable position. But obviously, the threat level becomes acute if he loses the legal battle. And how is that battle proceeding? Let's summarize for you what the two camps have argued in court over these past several days. Pilot camp, which is represented by Mukul Rohatgi and Harish Salve, they are saying that the time given to the MLAs to respond to the notices is less. The decision to suspend the MLAs seems a foregone conclusion. What was the tearing hurry? Act of inner party discipline can't be regarded as giving up membership. This is the arguments made by the Pilot camp lawyers. The lawyers representing the Gehlot government and the Speaker, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, has said, it's the Speaker's prerogative to act against the rebels. The court has no jurisdiction here. That's Abhishek Singhvi's argument. The Rajasthan High Court, however, has said that the whip cannot be issued with respect to a party meeting. The whip can only be issued by a political party in respect to an assembly session. In other words, indicating that it may not be fully convinced by the arguments made by the Gehlot camp as to the reason for the disqualification notice being issued. So it is right down to the wire in Rajasthan. Well, joining me tonight on the show, let me kick off proceedings with Supriya Srinete. She's the Congress spokesperson. Neerja Chaudhary, veteran journalist, is with us. And also with us is Faizan Mustafa, who is, of course, the Vice Chancellor of the Nalsar University and a legal expert. So now, Faizan, Mustafa, if I can just start with you. Now, if you look at the argument that has been made by the Chief Minister that these MLAs are eligible for disqualification because they didn't come to a party meeting, what's your sense? Is that a strong enough ground to stand up in court as a legitimate reason to disqualify them? Or is Mr. Gehlot somewhat on legal thin ice here?
Thank you, Vasu. First of all, let me say that I am little sad to see that one case has been given such prominence. Number of habeas corpus petitions where questions of life and death are pending before all the courts. Whether a government stays or goes is not that big an issue that you are having for almost 3 days continuous hearing, and this is not a great sign. Now, as far as your question is concerned, I think both the parties may lose and both the parties may win. Now, assuming that the High Court says that party discipline and dissidents are different and these people have not voluntarily given up the membership of the party and therefore this notice is quashed. Now, if that happens, it will have ripple effect on BJP as well in number of states. Because in number of states, BJP MLAs will similarly say, we want a change in our chief minister, but we want a BJP government. So for any political party, including BJP, winning this case will be just a point which you are scoring in one state, but which we may go against you in other states. I take the point which Pilot's lawyers have made that whip is to be issued when assembly is session, and if the questions from Justice Mohanty are any indication, he may say that some kind of inner party democracy is necessary. These people are saying we are not leaving the party, and therefore the whip is not there, or the whip is not valid. But then an assembly session can be called. There are all indications that there may be a session, and then a whip will be issued, and then they will be bound by that whip. You see, the main question in this case, Vasu, is judiciary interfering in the matter before a speaker has taken the decision? And the law on this point is absolutely clear that judiciary will come into play only when a speaker has taken a decision. These people have already got one week, which they were making about the other rule. You see, these rules Supreme Court has said are merely recommendatory. They are not mandatory. They are subordinate legislation. 7 days thing is not given in the Constitution. So I personally feel that both the parties are in a soup in this case.
Interesting. Okay, stay with us for a second. Supriya Srinath, great to have you. Now, obviously, given the numbers, it is very tight, isn't it? As I was saying in my introduction, that in the event, again, we don't know which way it's going to go, but in the event that the Rajasthan government loses in court, then Mr. Gehlot is right on the razor's edge.
Thank you for having me on the show, Vasu. And I, of course, don't have the legal eminence of Mr. Mustafa, so indulge me there. Because we are a stakeholder here.
I'm on the political point here. I'm on the political point, and I'm on the point, really, Supriya Srinath, that whether this is really an occasion to wonder about whether this crisis could have been avoided. I mean, this is a crisis. If you listen to Mr. Gehlot, he's still on the offensive. He's still attacking Sachin Pilot. Till yesterday, he was using very vituperative language against him. All of this when you're in such a fragile position politically.
So why I said what I said initially was because, we're a stakeholder here. It is not appropriate for me to comment on an ongoing case. But as far as the politics of this is concerned, Mr. Gehlot is a seasoned politician. He's a 3-time chief minister, has been a minister in the central government many times, has been an MP. He's not going to shoot off his mouth on numbers unless he has them. In fact, he's met the governor with a list of 109 MLAs. He's very confident of his numbers. Where the confidence seems to be lacking is actually the BJP. In fact, as an opposition, they don't want to have a floor test. Their state president, Mr. Punia, Satish Punia, has now said, what is the need for a floor test? We don't want to bring in one. If we are confident of our numbers, and if they are so confident of theirs, let's have a floor test. But they don't seem to want that to be. Now, as far as the language and all of that you were concerned is, he's the chief minister. He was in the middle of a corona battle. He's entitled to his opinion, and he's entitled to express his views. This is politically an acrimonious situation. As far as Mr. Pilot is concerned, there are a string of events that are going to point you in the direction that there have been many anti-party activities. And besides that, even if you were dissatisfied with the chief minister, you don't go away with X number of MLAs and then say, we want, this government is in minority, we want this to be changed. You don't bulldoze your own house. That's as simply put as I perhaps can. You can have differences, you are entitled to that. We could sit across the table and discuss with you, and that is the best outcome of this. But as far as Mr. Pilot is concerned, there have been 2 written notices sent on the Congress Legislative Party meeting, which have happened. He did not turn up for them, nor did the MLAs. And Mr. Mahesh Joshi, as the chief whip in his full right, wrote to the speaker about this, and the speaker has issued a disqualification notice, actually a show cause notice on disqualification.
Right, okay.
I think the matter will be taken care of.
Okay, Supriya, let me just move to. Okay, Nija, we also joined, by the way, by Dr. Manoj Rajoria, who's a BJP MP. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Welcome.
But if I can just ask Nija that. Do you think at the end of it, I mean, there was, this is kind of swung back and forth. Now, at one point, it seemed like Mr. Gehlot was making all the right moves, taking tough decisions to preempt a Madhya Pradesh-like scenario. But if you look at it right now, he is right on the razor's edge.
I think, yes, with today's verdict, putting off the decision till Friday, which gives both sides, I suppose, more time to get their act together. Also gives time for any patch-up, if at all efforts are being made at the national level, with central leadership moving in to somehow bring Mr. Pilot back from the brink. Because what we are seeing, yes, so what your question is, yes, it is very close to call. Of course, Mr. Gehlot has fought back very valiantly, to save his government. He's gone for the kill. He's pulled out all the stops, and this is the kind of spirit the Congress has not displayed for a very long time. You thought the party was really, going completely as if there was no spirit left. But having said that, I think the whole situation is a big mess. Because, Sachin Pilot worked very hard. It's going over old ground. We all, when we visited Rajasthan, saw Pilot, the kind of work he put in those 5 years. Uprooting himself from Delhi, camping in Rajasthan to bring the state, bring the party back to the state. Lakhs of kilometers covered. I myself have seen this. Sachin Pilot sitting in that dilapidated Congress office with nobody around and yet not prepared to give up. So, given that, of course, in 2018, he became Deputy Chief Minister, but the power sharing formula came unstuck somewhere, and I really blame the central leadership of the Congress party. The writing was on the wall. You knew about it. I knew about it. Tensions were growing. Madhya Pradesh was there for everyone to see, and yet you did not take the initiative to bring them together to do a patch-up. And now is it too late? Even though the party is going towards a patch-up, you have Mr. Gehlot up the ante, Nakara, Nikamma, this kind of thing. So making the patch-up even more difficult makes you wonder whether he really wants Sachin Pilot to be out of the party. Therefore, I think, as I said, have we gone to a complete breaking point? And that's not good for the Congress. It's not good for our democracy, because you and I have a stake in a strong opposition in India for a good parliamentary democracy function, not for a weakened Congress.
Yes, I think that's the most thing. Absolutely, yeah. It's not about BJP or Congress. It's really about democracy. But Dr. Manoj Rajoria, now that more and more the kind of language we're seeing being used by the Congress, the attacks on Sachin Pilot, the hardening of positions, it seems pretty clear. Doesn't it to you that Sachin Pilot is going down the Jyotiraditya route, and that is why the Congress keeps saying that that's entirely because he's been planning this with the BJP from the beginning. Why does the BJP keep denying this?
Sir, of course, because BJP...
Why not own the fact that you are part of the plan?
Basically, the imaginary part of the BJP, it is planned by the Mr. Ashok Gehlot, because all the script written by the Ashok Gehlot, there is nothing is there that BJP is planned anything or planning anything. This is absolutely differences between the Deputy CM and CM only, and the words used for the Deputy CM, the Nikamma, Nakara, like this, and he came and
but this
made the verdict,
alleged sting tapes, the alleged sting tapes where we can hear BJP leaders talk to members of the Sachin pilot camp.
Please listen me carefully.
And then when the team came to take the voice sample of the minister, he couldn't get the sample. Sample was not collected.
Mr. Jain,
if the BJP was above the, if they're clear, then why not subject yourself? Yes.
Srinivasan, give me time to complete my words. Then you can ask me another question. My first reply is there. You just hear Mr. Ashok Gehlot, all the verdicts and verbs given before the media and within parties only, that he said that there is no communication, there is no talk between Mr. Ashok Gehlot and Mr. Sachin Pilot. So there is no role of BJP. There is no communication between central leadership and the state leadership of Congress. This is part of Congress only. Okay. The words used by Mr. Ashok Gehlot for the Deputy CM Sachin Pilot, Nikamma, Nakara before media, this is not, there is no role of the BJP.
Yes, you said that, yes.
So, basically the problem is there inside of the BJP only, and they are just making, imposing all those things and accusing BJP leaders of central leadership.
I'm going to get Supriya to react to that.
Please,
I'm going to get Supriya to react to that, but let me just go to now. I have to move on. I cannot have such long answers. Otherwise, it just becomes monologues. Okay. Please allow me. You've come on TV, so you understand. It's important to keep it short and sweet. Faizan Mustafa, if I can just ask you that what are the options now for either side? So obviously, if either side suffers a legal setback, the obvious option is to go to the Supreme Court?
The matter will eventually go to Supreme Court. So it's not going to end in Rajasthan High Court. But since it's a unique situation that somebody has not defected, has not voted against the party, can he be disqualified? The expression voluntarily given up membership is to be interpreted. And legally speaking, it is for the speaker to decide whether by conduct somebody has voluntarily given up membership.
Right.
I said before, Vasu, BJP in winning this case may lose battles elsewhere because there are chief ministers against whom dissidents will say, we want replacement of this chief minister, but we repose full faith in our party. We are not leaving the party.
Right. So it could have a cascading effect. But I just want to ask you one thing. Yeah. But I want to ask you something, that you're saying it will go to the Supreme Court. But my question is that as long as the appeal process is ongoing, the speaker cannot decide, right? All that goes into suspension. The speaker can't decide, you can't have a trust vote. All that has to wait till the legal process is finished.
Vasu, if Gehlot has his number, he will call the assembly, because even today's order nowhere stops Gehlot from summoning assembly. So he will just go to Kalraj Mishra, ask him to convene the assembly, and if, say, on the first day he proves his majority, this whole thing in the Rajasthan High Court will become infructuous. There is no need for any judgment there.
Okay, if that happens, Manoj Rajoria of the BJP, if Mr. Gehlot calls a trust vote and forces your hand, are you nervous about that?
No, it depends on the...
Can I please come in?
Yes, yes, Manoj Rajoria. Go ahead.
Srinivasan, can you ask me a question? There was problem in hearing. So can you repeat the question, please? Hello, Mr. Srinivasan. There is difficulty in hearing. So
yes,
can you repeat the question? Can you repeat?
I'm saying that in case Mr. Gehlot calls a floor test, yes, in case Mr. Gehlot calls a floor test, will that make you worried?
No,
if
there
he
is
calls
no
a
worry.
snap floor test, proves his majority.
No. There is no worry for BJP because this is issue of the Mr. Gehlot only and Congress government only. BJP stand their own stand. We have our 75 MLAs, so there is no need for BJP of anything. This is matter of the Congress and the Congress government only. So they should be worried that either they have sufficient numbers to prove themselves or not. So this is matter of the worry for the Congress and Mr. Ashok Gehlot only, not for us, not for BJP.
Okay. So you're not.
Can I come in for 30 seconds?
You're
please?
not worried. Supriya, I'm told we're completely out of time. You can come in for 10.
Okay, if everything is so hunky-dory and BJP has nothing to do, why doesn't Mr. Gajendra Singh Shekhawat come in and give in his voice sample? That's all.
Please, I have some objection. Please give me 1 minute time to reply.
That's what I was asking, Vizir.
Madam Supriya ji.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please give me.
Then we will go into another cycle of debate, which I don't have time for. So we're completely out of time. Thank you all so much for joining us on Reality Check. We're completely out of time, sir. I don't have the time. I'm sorry. Completely out of time. Thank you for watching. Good night.